I tell them all the time, I still ain't figured this out. I'm in it for the long run, I still ain't figured this out, man. She says she got the answers, I still ain't figured this out. He say he got the cures, I still ain't figured this out, man.
And welcome to another episode of the Crappy Awesome Podcast. It's your host, Kill C. Ray, man. Welcome back. I got a dope episode today. Full transparency. This is the second time I'm sitting down with this dude in under a month because I fucking mistakenly fucked up some. It's a bad thing, but it's a good thing though because me and my homie, we could talk. We can talk. Let me tell you. So. We're going to get it in. We're going to catch up with my homie, Hollow Visions, man. Welcome to the show, Hollow.
What's up, everybody?
Yo, man.
How we doing?
First of all, thank you for doing this because this is your second time doing this. And, dude, I've had to do that before, and it can be a drag. But I promise you it will not be a drag. We're going to have a dope interview.
Hell yeah.
And we'll get it in, man. So the last time we spoke, we were talking a little bit about just real quick where you were at before the pandemic.
Yeah.
And you said that it derailed a lot of stuff. It derailed some plans. Can you talk a little bit about that and what what they were gonna get and now what they're getting? You know what I mean? Like, how's it changed?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, man. Like I was saying, right when the pandemic hit, man, we were EOTR, I think, was just like really catching its stride. I mean, me personally as well. We had mad fucking shows booked. I had mad personal shows booked, actual money coming in, which for an underground hip hop artist, once you start getting some shows with some money coming in, it's like you gotta fucking keep it going. That momentum is there for a minute, you know, and you gotta capitalize. So I was like right at the beginning of that, like that capitalizing moment, some money coming in my pocket, and COVID came through and said, fuck you, not this year.
Not this year, homie.
One more fucking year of waiting, son.
So did you go to, like when that happened, were you like, oh, I immediately got to like figure out a new way? Or were you like, let me see how this plays out? Like, what was the early strategy as it was happening? Because I know like it went through phases, right? Like where we didn't know what was going to happen. And then they started telling us stuff. And I think we got a better idea now, but the thought at the time had to have been like a scary thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think I had set myself up a little bit. I had a couple things in the pocket, like to drop virtually, you know, and my strategy a lot of the time out here has been to focus on internet shit. You get me? Like, the live shows, all that stuff that we had in our local circle was dope. But I was starting to find a lot of success overseas with my marketing and promoting.
Yeah.
And that was, you know, that's something that I had to learn these last couple of years. Like I had said before, I felt like I wasn't getting a lot of love or attention just in the local scene alone. Like I was getting recognized and people hitting me up, but it wasn't to the standards of what I saw the people around me getting, you know, like the Mescals, the Mad Maxes. And I started to find a niche on the overseas thing, online marketing. So I think I kind of had a leg up on that because I was already kind of thinking that way, strategizing wise. But like I said, at that moment, I was starting to finally get the live shows, the money in the pocket, the you know, we were about to throw a little headlining show. Me and Kiddo were about to rock that shit. We already had acts ready to go rock for us and all that. So, threw a little wrench in the whole fucking thing. But I'd like to think that I was a little more prepared than most.
That's dope. So you like talk. We didn't talk about this last time, but talk a little bit about that feeling of like you said you weren't getting the same because you have so much to compare it to, right? Like you have this really dope crew that has all their own sound and they're constantly interacting. But I assume that it's kind of unavoidable, right? To like look left and right and go like, damn, okay, they got that and they got that. Like that's unavoidable. I'm in a crew, it's unavoidable.
Yeah.
But how did you like? What inspired you when you saw them? Like, what were you seeing in them that you were like, why is it not clicking with my shit? Like, what was happening?
I think, I mean, it was never one of those like, I mean, yeah, I hit for a second. Like, what am I doing wrong? What
Hmm.
is it? You know, is it the work ethic? Is it which? Because I mean, like you said, when you're in the crew, and especially with the crew that we got, where you got heavy hitter dudes that are just constantly putting out work. You know,
Yeah.
you got to kind of keep up. So that that crosses your mind. But I think it's also where do you fit in it? You know,
Hmm.
there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with not finding your complete niche here in LA or anything
Yeah.
like that. It's just where am I going to make this a more complete group? And I think I was finding that when we did finally go to Europe and stuff like that, like out there, I was getting some fucking love, like a lot of people were gravitating towards
Yeah.
the shit I was putting out. So that was kind of like all right, that's where I fit in. I
Yeah.
can jump in and make these connections overseas or maybe relate to a different fan base, that we're not completely hitting over here.
Yeah.
So
Let me ask you
yeah,
this, man. It's I always think about this as an artist, and like it's because I'm thinking about like because I'm hearing you say this stuff, and I definitely feel you and understand where it's coming from. And on the flip side, I also know for a fact that when it comes to like other artists, like a lot of the times, like you're their favorite, like you're one of their favorite art, like you're an artist, like where other artists like you, like I'm telling you, like me and Parker, we're anytime we're up in we're driving up to LA from Dago, we're bumping your shit. It's in the playlist no matter what like I've heard other artists, Noah, people like yeah, Hollow's got some shit. Why did you think it wasn't? Do you think that the expectation of the audience from EOTR was something and that wasn't exactly what you were giving them, or like, you know what I mean? I'm trying to understand it because like I said,
yeah,
bro, like to me, you're an amazing artist, like I'm
yeah,
wondering
yeah.
what wasn't clicking, like,
Well, okay, maybe that was like maybe it was more like my personal things, but I think I was seeing it more like on people hitting me up to rock shows out here. You get me?
Oh,
Like
okay.
it's just you feel me? Like
Yes.
local cats that were throwing
Yes.
these shows and stuff like that. Like I've had shows being thrown in my own hometown,
Yes.
and these are people that hit me up and be like, "Hey, I like your music," or have supported and all this shit, but never once hit me up to rock the show.
Yes.
Shit like
Yes.
that, which it isn't a spiteful thing. Like I'm not like, oh, what the fuck, but it's just something you notice. Like, okay, I'm not.
On
Maybe I'm
their
not their cup
radar or
of
whatever.
tea on their radar for rocking their show. So that's why I'm
Shows.
saying like I kind of have to make it happen on my own in the sense where I have to throw my own show to do something out here kind of
Okay,
sometimes. You
so
get
I
me?
got
Like
something for you, man. I got something for you, fam.
okay.
Like, here's something that I'm definitely thinking about. And bro, you're gonna have to take my word on this. I assure you that you're definitely dealing with some of this stuff. I think that with your guys' success and your personal success, like the amount of people, because you're saying, I mean, look, a lot of people know who you guys are. It is when I talked to Mescal, I was like, we were kind of like reminiscing and tripping out how like, yeah, remember when everybody was like, man, we need to try to get to that level. And one of those levels is the level you're currently at right now that when you were there before you were like, man, if I could just get to that level. And I think what happens is this is for sure. And I've noticed this with promoters and other artists, especially artists who throw shows. I think part of what you're dealing with is they think that you're now out of reach. And I know it's going to sound weird because you're like, no, but I'm out here. I'm like, I'm at the show. But
I'm
it
like,
isn't, that
reach me,
isn't what
man.
it, bro. I've had long talks with Noah about this. I talked to Curtis about this, just on the personal. And like, you notice that happens with some artists. Like they'll be like, man, we love Hollow shit. We love Hollow shit. Hey, do you think we could get him for, nah, he's not going to do art. Like, and that's literally how it is. And you're over here going like, yo, I need to eat. Like, you know what I mean? Send me shows. But I think that is part of what's happening.
Yeah, and I think, you're right. I mean, I think we were talking about this last time. You have to get reminded sometimes as an artist,
Yeah.
Of what you're doing, where you're at, and like, I think, personal feelings or maybe you set yourself up to look in that certain way or to be like, he's not down to rock this show or he's not down to fuck with us.
Yeah.
I can totally see that, man. Yeah.
Yo,
but I'm here to say no.
I know. Yes. And I stamped that. By the way, all my artist friends who are dealing with that, hit them up. Yes.
Hit me up. I'm down to rock, man.
Yeah, and you have to understand this too. I think it's for listeners and fans or people who might be in that position to throw shows or maybe you're going to get into that at some point. Understand too, there's a flip side to that where a lot of us get asked to do a lot of shit a lot of times, and it's not shit we want to do. Like there's a lot of people who are not professional that hit everybody up, and you're constantly getting berated by that. So at the same time, you might go like, oh man, you know what? I hit him up and he didn't get back or he didn't do. Bro, like it's hard to filter through like who's really about that shit or whatever. Don't be afraid. I know Hollow as a person. Don't be afraid to hit up Hollow again and go like, hey, dude, I hit you that time. I don't know if you caught that. And he might just go, oh, shit, my bad. I didn't know. Yeah. And that's what I think. But that is what you're dealing with, bro, is that most of the time they're dealing with that guy in the video. That's what they're seeing. They're like, well, that's that guy. He's that guy. And they don't know that that's one side of you. Like you still got many albums to make to show a bunch of different sizes. Like it's early in your career. Like, and I think sometimes they might just think like, oh, again, he's too far. Bro, I've had people COVID before COVID where when they would ask like, yo, hey, Hollow or, you specifically, I've had somebody ask me this like, and their first thing is like, damn though, how much do you think you'll charge though? Like, and I'm like, oh shit. Because that's where they're coming from, right? They're like, I probably can't afford him. That's what they're thinking, right? And they don't know.
To have, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's an amazing problem to have, and that's what I'm saying. I think that there is another way to look at it. Like you can look at the idea, even though that you're in this place that feels like limbo sometimes, where you're like, fuck, I'm not getting booked up, I'm not getting booked down, but you're on your way up. So you're about to be at that spot. And usually before you hit that spot, right before then is when it goes silent from the local cats because they're like, he's no longer in our atmosphere. You know what I mean? So we're dealing with the artists that are right in front of us every day where you're doing professional things. You know what I mean? This is trying to be a career for you. So it's a daily thing where not everybody's working like that, dog. You know what I mean? Like some people are just working on the weekend. And so once you escape that part, it is hard for them to relate to you as far as like a person, Yeah.
Well, shit. I hope.
I guarantee it, bro. I guarantee it.
Sounds kind of great. Yeah.
I guarantee it. I'm a fan, and like I said, one of the things I love doing, I can't even stop. Like I constantly analyzing this stuff, but from you as an artist, I do know that is. Because, like I said, I've just heard little things here and there, and I'm like, oh, okay, if you put that shit together, what they're thinking is they just probably can't book you. And promoters, right? Promoters, there's a lot of different types, but that sometimes promoters just want to throw a show. They're just like, they don't even care who's on it, really. They just want to throw a show. And so if they're like, that dude's out of my bracket, I'm not even going to try. And I think that's what's happened,
Yeah, man, definitely. Well, shit. I'd like to think I'm starting to find my niche in this shit, anyways. And
I agree.
Was kind of like the great equalizer.
Yes,
I'd like to think, because it kind of just now, like we were talking about last time. Now it's about what can you do without. My bad. I'm trying to find myself in this frame. I keep like drifting off. Yeah, man. Now it's like, what else do you have in your arsenal? How do you keep up with the ever changing world of this hip hop scene, dude? Because, I mean, now there is no shows. Now there is no shit you can really be out there in person doing. So what's your fucking internet presence like? What's the backup plan,
Yeah. And I think you, luckily, because I have noticed this, right? Like one thing COVID has definitely done is it has really exposed whether the artist really wants to live this lifestyle, right? Because it's not, it's a tough lifestyle. And then with a pandemic and everything going on, it's even tougher. So I could see the casual people starting to like drift away a little bit, especially I've seen it in our city a lot. like we were talking about how like our hip hop scene has like been cut in half almost, you know, like, and it's mostly just the cats who were already doing it. Kind of like you said, like, because of what you were already doing, you were kind of ready for it. So it wasn't really going to damage you. And I think you guys definitely had an advantage because you guys do have a presence and you yourself have a presence. So let me ask you this. If you're which you are technically, right? But it's like a group thing. But like, if you are your manager, right? And you're like, yo, we need to get Hollow these 3 things, like, and then he'll be good. Like is it like more, you think it's just being in front of more faces? Is it like more music? What is it? What do you feel like you still need?
For sure, my big plan, well, not big plan, but the plan this year is to get way more visuals out, man. I definitely want to be a little more interactive when it comes to the content that I'm putting out, which you've seen us kind of do with the podcast.
Yes.
Stuff like that. Just get my face in front of so many fucking people where they can't not see me, whether they hate me, like me, whatever. But I want to be in your fucking face at all times. Visuals, podcasts, whatever it is, you know? So I'm trying to hit people with so many different fucking angles of me, personality, music, you know, all that shit. So definitely step up the visuals.
Yo, you know what just hit
that really?
What just hit me? I'm curious about this, dog. Okay, do you remember by the way, if you guys follow Hollow's story, it's a very intricate, long story, and we've documented it on Crappy Awesome. You can go to Crappy Awesome and listen to past episodes, but especially your first releases, right? Like you were dealing with a lot of like, you said like mental stress. You were dealing with like learning how to deal with anxiety, learning how to deal with addiction, learning how to deal with a lot of different things. Do you think when you look at like your past stuff and where you're at now, why do you feel like, or is there still a chance you could become that guy again? Like, is there still a chance that we could, like, Hollow could pick up the phone and be like, "Hey, I'm living in Texas now, like in the mountains." You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, you know what? Yeah, dude. I mean, I think like it'll definitely not be the same it was.
Right.
But I think once you've gone through certain shit, there's always a chance for a fuck up or a big life change. You know, like we're getting older. These things are starting to become a little complicated sometimes. So, you know, you have to think about it.
Yeah.
But I'd like to think that I'm more solidified in who I am now than I was then. It's no longer a choice to do this. Like this has become like, this is my life, man. Like I've realized I've tried the other shit and I've realized this is what I love. This is what I find my way back to, you know? So
yeah. That's really dope.
Life is life. You never really know where you're going to be, but I do definitely know music is always going to be a part of it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm giving this shit the best shot that I got. And I don't think I'll ever not make music at this level. Who knows if things don't go the way, you know, we plan them to go. But for sure, I'm always going to be a fucking artist, man. I'm always going to make music. I'm always going to be this guy, whether it's here, whether it's in Texas, whether it's anywhere. But I will always be this guy, you know? And I think that was something that I was dealing with then, where I was just like, fuck it. Is this for me? You know, like the moment was bigger than I was.
That's a great way to put it. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I was like, shit, I'm at this point now where it's like, I'm either going all in or fuck, I still have a chance to step out, you know? And like, it's that social anxiety. It's that thing. I'm a very outgoing person, but deep down inside, I'm an introvert. Like, I get nervous around people. I fucking step out for a cigarette when I'm at shows. You've seen me. Like, I go in there and I got 20-minute conversations in me, and then I gotta step out for a fucking cigarette because it's just, you know, that's just how I am. But I can fucking turn it on for you, you know. So I think I was dealing with that at that moment, you know, and I was finding reasons not to succeed.
Yeah.
Where now it's like, now I completely have to find a reason to succeed. You know, because it's defined me. I've defined myself. This is it, you know.
Let me ask you this man, I was just talking to Parker about this. Like, do you think living the lifestyle that you're living, right, and knowing what you have to do to be an artist and the ins and outs of that and how it can be erratic, do you see like family life in your future? Are you a person who's like, man, I'm probably going to have kids and a wife at some point? Or are you like, I don't know. That's probably not for like, where are you at with that?
Man, dude, you've heard my music.
I know.
I definitely, yeah, dude.
I mean, you love love. I know that part.
I love the idea of love. Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
but what about logically putting it together and going like, what about a girl? Because bro, this is real, right? Like as you get more successful, your dating circle becomes smaller. One, right? Because people, one, this is one of the weird things about art, right? Is in a large way, like it's almost like the aging stops. Right? Like everybody seems like one age forever if you can keep this going, right? And then so like your dating circle gets small because most people just can't deal with the lifestyle. It isn't that conducive to having, kids and being able to take 2 years off. Let me take 2 years off and raise my kids. And unless you're super successful, like, have you thought about all those things? And if that's like a reality for you?
Yeah, I kind of have, man. I actually more recently than anything, man, because I think about it, and I'm one of those people that does go all in with things. Mm-hmm. So I do think like, fuck, if I do get into something serious at the moment, is this shit gonna suffer? Which one's gonna suffer more? Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think there would be a lot of success would have to go in between then and now for me to be able to be like, all right, I'm going to sit down and have a family and do all this shit.
Right.
If something like that comes along right now, I can't tell you what would happen to my music,
Yeah,
If I fucking had a kid right now, dude.
If you got hit with the baby stick?
If I got hit with the baby stick right now, dude, fuck, Hollow might have to sit back, go get a fucking job. And
it would be crazy, right?
That's just what it is. Yeah. Dude. So, fuck. I don't know, dude. That's a tough one.
It's tough. I don't know. I'm asking you to figure out for myself, by the way. I still don't even know. Hey, I'm older than you.
Dude, that's why I'm constantly writing fucking songs about me being confused about this shit. So no, I don't know, dude. I still don't got an answer for myself.
Where do you feel?
I think it's.
Where do you feel like you got your understanding of love with women? You know what I mean? Like, how did you learn it? Because that has a lot to do with how we move forward, right? In relationships.
I don't even know if I do completely learn it or understand it. I mean, I think my life was kind of surrounded with a lot of fucked up situations when it came to women and those relationships, not just personally, but like the people around me, my mom, my dad, their whole story's fucked. Wow. I've seen friends with fucked stories. I've had early on fucked stories where like, dude, before I started rapping, I was with a girl for 3 years and thought that was going to be it. We had our whole lives planned, and all it really took was me jumping on one track with one person and then rocking one show. And then I was like, oh, kind of question it all, dude. Yeah. And it's funny because I look at that girl now, and it's funny because I still talk to like her aunt here and there. Uh-huh. But she's married, has kids now.
Oh wow, that's what she wanted.
And I look at it and I'm like, did I miss something there? Because she was like all around, it was a solid relationship, and the only thing that did fuck it up was music.
Yeah,
you get me? Yeah, like if it wasn't for my love of music, and because she did not want me to do this shit. So I look at shit.
It was doomed from the start, my friend. It was doomed.
Doomed from the start.
The moment she didn't want you to do this thing, she didn't know that would kill you. It would probably kill you.
My mind turned off because I look at my life where it was then, and I'm like, shit. Like, was I ever really happy? And I wasn't. I was working these warehouse jobs, and it was literally just, okay, I got this job now. Next step, save up, get an apartment, get her pregnant, get married, it was shit like that. Like it was like this fucking robotic, like what's next? This is next. That's next. That's next. And then as soon as I saw my out, like, oh fuck, you do love music. Oh fuck, you are kind of good at this shit. I fucking took it and ran, dude. I took it and ran.
So obviously then, right?
I packed that fucking bag and I took the fuck off.
Yeah.
But so I mean, like my relationship with love is a complicated one because it's something that I look for and want, but I think it's something that I might never have just because of my own unwillingness to settle. You
Yeah.
get me? In anything. I mean, we were talking about me dipping earlier, and I
Yeah.
think that's part of my fear of commitment with it. Like, I saw music becoming a huge commitment rather than this happy-go-lucky fun shit that I do here and there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I got scared. I got scared, and I fucking tanked myself and took off. You know, I was able to kind of learn how to deal with it now, but to this day, yeah, I still have lulls where I start to fucking back away after a couple months of just hitting it hard, hard, hard. And I have like a couple weeks where I'm just ghosted. And then I
Yeah.
come back and hit it hard, hard, hard. And then I have to, I think that's just something I have to do, is reset myself in all things. So
I think one thing I've learned this year for sure is I used to be super hard on myself when inspiration wasn't coming. You know what I mean? Like when I'd be in the studio and be like, man, I'd rather just go outside or do some other shit. And I've recently made that part of my routine. Like if I start to feel the inspiration dipping, like I immediately I'm like, oh, well, I'm not even going to like force that shit. I'm going to go create some other shit. And that's why I think it's super dope that you have these new outlets to kind of like play with the other creative side. Cause I feel like it all gets better when you're just constantly creating instead of like just taking time off and doing nothing. If you have just these other little options, you can do it. Let me ask you this though. This is some artist shit, right? Do you ever at least feel in the mood where you're like, man, fuck the expectation, like fuck these motherfuckers for wanting something from like I'm just gonna make what the fuck I want to fuck them all. Like, does it ever get like that? Like, I don't want to make money. I just want to make art. I want to, you know what I mean? Like, does it ever get like that?
Yeah, man. I mean, I think that's, we were talking about this last time, right? And it was about where I'm at as an artist now and the comfortability of my personal art and like finding my own sound now.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it took, reaching that point of, all right, fuck it. I'm not trying to sound like this EOTR sound that everybody has. And I think that was like my projects before. I'm not trying to make everybody happy anymore. I'm comfortable just being weird and experimental. And if I'm going to fucking sing on the track, I'm going to sing on the track.
Yeah.
All this shit. And I think you have to reach that as an artist to become truly successful.
I agree.
You have your rarities of people that just ride a fucking trend, but those that last and those that become dope ass fucking artists are those that were able to say, fuck it, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But I'm still going to make the art that's true to myself. You know? I like to think I'm there now. I like to think the new music I'm about to drop is in its rawest form, just me being as creative and weird and me as possible.
Yeah. Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this.
Reach that.
When you because obviously for your listeners a lot of times, right? Like they can feel like these changes happen overnight, but obviously these are like literally moments and seconds and hours that you worked through these issues. Some of them suck, some of them are great. Like when on the other side of this, because it feels like to me listening to you, it seems like you're kind of on the other side of whatever the last chapter was now. Like you're like, I'm kind of done with that. I want to move forward with new shit. Do you see yourself always making things that people would consider like hip hop? Or does it ever, are you thinking like, yeah, I'm probably going to make something outside of the genre at some point?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely would love to. I would love to get into some like I don't want to even say rock because not even just like that, but like some more instrument based music.
Yeah.
Live instrument based music, things that a little more eclectic sounding sometimes. I can see myself totally breaking outside of the hip hop box. You know,
what is it that you listen to outside of hip hop? Like, what's like your go to outside of hip hop? If you're not listening to rap, what would you normally like to play?
Shit. Lately I've been on like so many fucking podcasts, dude.
Yeah.
I haven't really been listening, dude.
You're doing research too, though.
Hell yeah, dude. I guess I've been falling back into like the old the Doors, old shit like that. I've been like falling into the old like emo type bands and shit.
Yeah.
Oh, shit like that I was listening to back in like high school and stuff like that.
That's fire.
But like I said,
is it leaking into your music?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, actually, I got like a couple tracks on here. On this new project. It's funny. I fucking previewed one of it at that drive-in show, and it was like it was
Yeah.
the one song. You know, everybody has that one song in the album where you're like, this one is a little uncomfortable, a little weird, a little dark, and
Yeah,
people
I
are either gonna
hope
fucking
they
love it
like
or
it.
hate it.
Yeah.
So I did this shit live, dude, and it's funny because I had like these two dudes that I went to high school with that showed up, and they're more into like the Suicide Boys type of shit, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
like
yeah.
that little hardcore fucking rap like weirdo shit.
Mm-hmm.
And those motherfuckers heard that shit and they came up, they're like, dude, what the fuck is the name of that song? You need to send me that song. So it was kind of cool to see
That's
that
dope.
little weird niche that I have come out and hit a little pocket of fans that I didn't know I had, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely bleeding into it. Got a couple like guitar type beats and tracks that are a little more melodic and rhythm based that I've been kind of dealing with. I'd love to get some guitar work in, man. I used to play the guitar avidly, and it's been a minute, so I'd
Oh,
love to kind of get
wow.
into some acoustic shit,
That would be
some acoustic shit.
fire.
Really start working into that. I'd love to get into some soulful shit, man.
Yeah.
Real
I could see
soulful
that.
shit,
I
dude.
could definitely see
I
that.
feel like I've been leaning that way, anyways. So
I think you
yeah,
got to
man.
give it to him, bro. You got to give it to bro. I'm telling you, look, man, I feel like, again, dude, like having talked to so many different artists on this show, I'm telling you, I know where you're at. Like I could see it in your eyes. I could hear it the way you're talking, bro. You're on the precipice of being the thing that you want to be the most. And I'm telling you, you just got to double down on everything you're doing is working, bro. If you're wondering, it's fucking working. Like it's all working. I'm excited to hear the new shit. I think that it's going to be like, I think what we're going to see over these next few years from you, this is my prediction. And this is why I say that, because you're not just like, I want to make a good hip hop song. Like, you know, like traditionally, let's be honest, the majority of people who rap that are at least making songs, it is, and not always on purpose, but for the most part, it is just them making a version of what they've already heard, right? And you are trying so hard and succeeding at not doing that. And I've noticed this, that the artists who are like, oh, they're lifers, that's what they start doing. They start doing, because it's not like normal, like the normal shit that they came in with is just, it's not enough for them. You know what I mean? Like they gotta do more. And it's like you said, like as you started to sing more, you're like, fuck, this is a whole nother tool to use to build this house. Like, why the fuck would I not use this? And you also know the flip side to that, of when you're contemplating doing that, it's scary as fuck, because you're like, yeah, but do I really want it? What if it doesn't what if it knocks the house down? Like, but I'm telling you, it will not, bro.
Day by Night, the track that I released, the I'm Gonna Make You Proud Someday.
Yes, fucking amazing.
That was probably one of the most nerve-wracking fucking tracks I ever released, dude.
Wow.
I sat there like, fuck, people are gonna think I'm a fucking pussy. This song is too weak. This song, like, people are gonna be hating on it. Like, is it too soft? You know? And I got a good response, dude. And it was funny because I even got that same fucking anxiety when I was about to perform it at my own show at that drive-in, dude. Like,
still,
it still fucking makes me nervous, because like I sat there and I looked at Mudds and I'm like, I think I'm gonna drop Day by Night, dude. And he's like, why? And I'm like, I don't know if this crowd is gonna fuck with it. And he's like, this show is literally all about you. People paid to come see you.
Yeah, we need that.
The fans, they're like, why wouldn't the fans that paid to come see you not want to hear your song? And I was like, oh shit, you're right. This is about me. I'm so used.
Shout out to Mudds,
dude. That motherfucker's always got my back in a monotone voice and super sarcastic. I love it, dude. Mudds, hey, real quick, Mudds, the funniest reactions I ever get about Mudds when they don't know him, and this is another one of those, like, you have this perspective of somebody before you actually know. People come up and be like, hey, Mudds is kind of an asshole. Dude, and I'm like, no, you just gotta kind of get to know him.
No, he is like, definitely not. He's literally like one of the kindest people you're ever going to meet in your life. It's just his resting fucking motherfucker face. I feel you.
One of the nicest dudes I ever met, man. But yeah, it took him having to tell me that. And I think I'm just again, so used to either downplaying myself or just assuming that no one's gonna fuck with it, that I fuck my own head up with the shit, you know,
Yeah.
like, which I think is maybe not all artists, but like
But it's a lot.
a lot
It's
of
a
artists,
lot.
a lot of artists have that fucking like you're
Yep.
your own worst enemy. You fucking criticize yourself the worst, and yeah,
Yeah.
every now and then you need someone in your fucking corner, which is the plus side of having a fucking group, man. I think we were
Yes.
talking about this last time too. Like, my only advice I could really give to cats out there is find a niche of like a fucking group of people in this art shit that you can really trust or fucking feed off of, you know,
Hell yeah.
because you need that shit, man.
Hell
They've
yeah.
gotten me out of some dark places and been some of the reasons why I've pushed the envelope or done some of the music that I've put out, you know.
Yeah, and I think it's important too as artists. This is I got this advice recently, and this definitely applies to you. It's important to you like the people that are around you, not just as friends, but as artists. You're like, man, these motherfuckers are dope. Blah blah. You always speak highly of them. They fuck with you. And they want you to put music out. So every time you have that thought of like, damn, I don't know if I'm the motherfucker, they're thinking the same thing from you. Like, damn, fucking Hollow's fucking dropping that is just it's a normal process. I'm glad that you feel like you deal with it a lot better now instead of taking off across the country on a soul searching walk. But yeah, man, I think again, like I'm super into, bro, like after watching this last year go down and seeing how people dealt with this, like I feel it's even more important now to give people their flowers now. I'm telling you, everything you're doing is working. I've never shown anybody your shit and they've gone like, nah, not for me. Everybody's like, every single one, bro, is like, oh shit, hey, slide me that link, or like, hey, let me get that song. And that's just the truth. You know what I mean? And I know saying it and feeling it are two different things, but at least rest assured that unless we're all crazy too, which we may be, but then that's dope anyways, because you got a niche. You know what I mean? Like crazy people.
Fuck yeah. My target audience.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick.
Yeah.
Don't you think that as artists, we were more well equipped to deal with the bullshit of 2020 than anybody else in the fucking world? All the heartbreak and the fucking craziness.
This was nothing, bro. Like, it was nothing.
Okay. Oh, you guys are dealing with mental issues? Oh, yeah. Just write a song, dude.
Yeah, or like, song, bro. Like my whole thing was like, oh shit, what? I gotta stay in the house? Sick. Like, I don't have to go to all those things that I had to go to before? Sick. Like, that's
straight up, dude. I had a fucking Muds actually was telling me, he's like, I was starting to get to the point where I was tired of going to shows.
Yeah.
He's like, which is funny because now I would do anything to be
Me too. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, man.
Yeah, I think my thing was like, I liked having a legitimate excuse to not have to like go be amongst the crowd. Because I'm not that comfortable there. You know what I mean? I don't really like that shit. I'm like you, where people assume what we do, that you must be an extrovert, but you're an introvert just trying to survive like in an extrovert world. So it feels more complicated. But again, I think some of the greatest musicians are that, you know, like, and it does seem to me as like, at least I've studied the artist's mind, there does seem to be this formula of what makes long-lasting music, or people that are going to make long-lasting music. And like I said, like you check a lot of those boxes from the jump. And I think that's probably, if I think about it, right, like when I first heard you, that's probably what I heard without processing it, right? Like I was just like, why did I like your shit? That's probably why, right? Like I heard it, I listened to it, I was like, oh, he's going for, like, he's going in. Like, to me, bro, I know a grip of rappers that can bar the fuck out, dog. I mean, bro, first of all, we collectively, like, bro, we know all of them, all the ones that can really bar out in the game.
Yeah.
That's just not what I'm that concerned with making at this point in my life. Like, there's a lot of shit I got to get through, and it feels like you too. And to me, I think it can get scary when, you know, there's a large group of people that are focusing on that. And trust me, that's dope. Those are some of my favorite rappers. But I just don't do. I know I don't do that because it's just not what comes out, man. Like that's not what comes out. The shit that comes out of me is usually just more personal, and I know it is for you. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely, man. I almost have no control over what the fuck I'm writing, dude. Like I'm not that guy that can come in and be like, all right, this song's gonna be out that. I'm gonna create this whole storyline of just to get dude. Like it is just let me hear the song. What are the first fucking words that come out of my fucking mouth? And then we're gonna go from there. Like it to me, the first 2 fucking bars that come out on the page just have to come out, and that's going to guide it. But I have no conscious decision of what it's going to be. Dude.
I'm the same
way. It never is like that for me, dude. Yeah, I have to feel the track. I have to sit there. It's either instant or it takes me a few weeks, you know. But there's no in between. There's no like, I can force it and knock out a dope ass track in a couple hours because I forced it. No, it's either I got it or I don't have it.
Do you because I don't know if I've asked you this, but how much stuff, because I know you guys got Mescal, you have a lot of great engineers and stuff within the crew and people who mix shit. I mean, Mescal's he's doing a lot of that, but in the studio when you're playing with the beat or you're in those early stages, how much do you care about putting your hands on the actual beat, and how much do you want? Like, if you don't do that, do you want to start doing that? Is that something more? Because you said the guitar, and I was thinking so you at some point you're going to be constructing your own music. It feels like. Is that something in the future? Like, are you like, I probably am going to produce or at least make the music I'm all the way around? You know,
it's not like 100% something that I need to do.
Mm-hmm.
I almost like to have more moving parts when it comes to things like that, like having people come up with the concept for a video that I have nothing to do with. You know, like I have a lot of problems translating my songs into visuals, beat wise as well. Like, it would be dope to get in there and like maybe construct some shit with the guitar, do some shit like that. But that's going to be very minimalistic music.
Yeah.
That's going to be, when it comes to beats and everything like that. I'd like to get inspired by other people's emotions and shit like that. Cause I like to feel like I can tap into, the raw emotion they were feeling when they created that beat. You get me? Like I kind of like that. Right. I like that process of like, oh shit, I was able to hit that little pocket of fucking shit you were feeling, tap in and
and then magic happens.
And express it for both of us, you know? Like so I actually I enjoy that process of having more hands on it. I feel like it's a crazier, more connective experience, you know.
Who's your go-to right now, man? Production wise.
It was
like, who do you love working with right now? Like, who are you loving working with?
Well, the shit that me and that kid Pigeon Beats, dude, the local
cast. I remember you telling me.
Yeah, dude, the shit me and him got, dude. Like, I feel like he tapped me into something that I haven't been tapped into in a while.
That's dope.
You know,
that's dope.
You know, shout out to my boy Lex. I've worked with him for such a long time. But I feel like we had done so much work with each other that we were just at a point where like, all right, now I got to switch it up, you know?
Yeah.
But
that happens.
Definitely, dude. Pigeon Beats, man. That guy's got some shit, man. He's got some dope backpack shit for you. He's got some dope trap shit. Like, this kid's all around just sick with it, man. Young cat. So he's definitely tapped me into some part of me that I haven't had in a minute. So
that's sick. What about timeline for releases and moving forward? Obviously, we're in 2021. You went from being the last podcast of the year to being the first podcast of 2021. It's a better spot, I think. You know what I mean? So you're the first one. So what's the schedule look like?
I'm still shooting for like a late March release of the EP. I'm gonna start dropping some promos within the next week or two. I'm looking for like a 3-week promo run, man. Like, I kind of want to get it hard and fast to the people, and you know, while it's still fresh in their mind, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely start dropping some shit by late February, maybe looking at some visuals March, April, and then on to the next, man.
Nice, bro.
On to the next, yeah.
Thank you for doing this, dude. Twice, by the way. But man, like I told you the first time we talked, this is not bullshit. You can vouch for this. I said you could call me every day. Like, we can build. I love building with you, bro. Because like I said, I believe in what you're doing. I think that you are in this for the long road. I personally don't think there's anything you can do to control that part. Like, I think that it's just gonna, it is who you are. Now the love part, bro, I don't know, man. I'm not putting any money down yet. You know what I mean?
I'm a
Like if you
complicated
said
man,
loves, like with the plural, I'd say a word. But love, I don't know yet. So I'm watching though.
tough, man.
I'm rooting for you though.
Hey, we on Tinder, baby. We on. Swipe right.
Swipe right. Serious inquiries only.
I got my number on there and everything. Hit me
Word
up.
up. Word up.
Yes.
All right, man. Follow at Hollow Visions, right? No, where is Hollow on Instagram? And then actually you can just Google Hollow Visions. A bunch of shit comes up. But if you're listening to this anywhere podcasts are found, you can go watch the video version at YouTube and on Instagram, or head over to platformcollection.com and you can check out all of Hollow's music by just typing his name in. It comes up, dope reviews, dope music, and stories dating way back, by the way. We've been talking to Hollow for years now. Years. So by the way, bro, we've been talking to you for fucking years, dog. You're doing this, dog. You're doing this.
I searched myself on your Platform Collection website.
Word
and
up.
I was like, holy fuck, dude, that shit since like 2015. I'm
yeah,
like,
bro. Yeah, bro. We've been at this. So you have no excuse.
Yeah.
You have no excuse. You're here, bro.
At all.
Can't go. Can't go away. Yeah, you're fucked. All right, bro.
I'm fucked. Yeah.
Thank you so much, man. Have a great week. And guys, follow Where's Hollow Instagram. Follow everything EOTR. Shout out to EOTR, by the way. You guys are doing a fantastic job. And we'll talk to you soon, bro.
All right, man. Appreciate you as always.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that's my boy Hollow Visions, man. EOTR. Follow them. Where is Hollow on Instagram? Man, he's one of my favorites. So go find out why. And I think he'll become one of yours as well, bro. It's just quality music. It's just, I like the fact that this dude likes to experiment. And that's always been one of my favorite elements with any artist that I really like. So he does that and he does it well. So follow him, platformcollection.com. Go over there, grab some merch. And we'll see you guys next time, man. And then make sure you catch me Sundays, Chris Sees the Internet, 7 p.m. And then every other Wednesday over on Tumex TV for Tumex Cinema. Thank you for supporting those shows, by the way. You guys are super dope for doing that. All right. Love you guys. See you guys later.